I was aware of Norman almost immediately when I started studying design, and that would have been at Parsons School of Design in the environmental department in the mid 80s. I think was the first time his name sort of came across, and I realized this was somebody I needed to sort of look at and understand. And then, of course, in architecture school up at Cornell, by then in the early 90s, it was very clear that that Norman was going to be somebody that I had to be kind of following. I met Norman almost about 20 years ago, and it was an interesting meeting because it was in the Hearst Tower here in New York City, and I met him as we got into the lift, into the elevator, to go up to the penthouse where I was to film him for a marketing project. Been working with his practice for many years before that, but that was the first time I really met him. We've worked on a sequence of projects. We've been working on the Kharkiv master plan for the reconstruction of Kharkiv after the devastation of this miserable war. That's something that's very, very dear to me. I have many friends in Ukraine. We actually have a studio in Ukraine, and it's wonderful for them to be participating and working with Norman on this project. I believe it's going to be an incredible revitalization of Kharkiv, and the way that they're approaching it in these sort of pilot projects to make change fast. And to work with things like the river, I think will make a new type of city for Ukraine, which will then hopefully change many of the cities in Ukraine. Another project we've been working on is the nuclear battery, which is a collaboration with MIT's, which is this idea that you can transport clean energy in battery, in sort of very large battery form, to maybe isolated communities, or to bring power to 3 of these batteries could maybe power 6 New York City blocks, or the idea that a battery could power an F1 Grand Prix, something that is typically known as very high fossil fuel burning, but the idea that you could actually run a Grand Prix from nuclear battery. The idea that you could use these batteries to power vessels, to build seawalls, to protect islands that are maybe in danger from climate change, from sea rise. And then the idea that these batteries could even power these walls to have amenities. Another project we've worked on is the Essential Homes Research Project, which is this kind of brilliant solution to, Norman identified this kind of problem in that these refugee camps that we so sadly see everywhere in the world. One assumes that those are temporary situations, but everyone knows they tend to be semi-permanent, or in some cases, sadly, very permanent. So the idea of an easily constructed, transportable, easily constructed home, something that would give, could create a sense of community, a sense of pride, a sense of dignity, when a situation has been caused either by a natural disaster or in some cases, a political war disaster.